I'm going to briefly recap the 6th seed Penn State versus 7th seed Notre Dame football game, and I apologize if I'm looking at it because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And we all know what happened in terms of results 27-24. I'm going to go over like how many plays per drive, whether it resulted in a punt or interception, and all the scoring drives as well. Then I will go over the stats. Besides, like what happened in the first quarter or second quarter in terms of number of points and everything. As we all know, Penn State got the ball first, and it was a 5-play drive that resulted in a punt. And like number of plays, it was 31 yards. Notre Dame got the ball back, got the ball for the first time. 8 plays for 48 yards, for like 3 minutes 51 seconds. They had to punt the ball away. Then Penn State had 6 plays for 18 yards with 2:39 ran off the clock, so they had to punt the ball. So it was, and this like the next following drive, like for Notre Dame, resulted in an interception on a 3 plays for -2 yards with minute 13 left on the clock. In terms of like how long did the drive take? So obviously there was a false start on 3rd and 7, so it was 3rd and 12, and Riley Leonard threw his first pick of the game to Zaki Wheatley, and it was like no gain on the pick. I will say though, the Notre Dame defense did allow 14 plays for 55 yards and 4 minutes 51 seconds ran off the clock to go to the second quarter. Well, 14 minutes 52 seconds left in the second quarter. Penn State made a field goal, and that was big for Notre Dame to hold them to 3, and I'll explain why later. Okay, then Notre Dame got the ball back and eight plays, 24 yards, like 5 minutes, 17 seconds ran off the clock. So it was like 9:35 when they like that time they punted the ball away and all that. And Penn State won on a long drive, to say the least. 7 minutes, 17 seconds on 15 plays. And the touchdown was by Nicholas Singleton on a 5-yard run. And they didn't make the extra point. So Penn State was up 10-0. And Notre Dame had to score something right before halftime. And this was a drive that Riley Leonard got taken out of game. Taken out because of concussion protocol. And they took the rest of the clock and scored a field goal on 13 plays. And it was huge by Mitch Cheater at the time. It was 41-yarder. And Notre Dame, coming right at halftime, they got the ball first. And they went on a 8-play, 75-yard drive that ran off 4 minutes, 14 seconds off the clock, and scored a touchdown by Riley Leonard on a 3-yard run. And the extra point was good, so 10-all at that point. And Penn State had to punt the ball away after like 3 plays, 8 yards, 2 minutes, 5 seconds ran off the clock. And Notre Dame punted the ball right back, 4 plays, 11 yards on 2 minutes, 9 seconds ran off the clock. And Penn State had to punt the ball again on 4 plays, 17 yards, 2 minutes, 6 seconds left. 2 minutes, 6 seconds ran off the clock. And then Notre Dame took the lead for the first time on a 10-play, 71-yard drive that lasted 5 minutes and 19 seconds, and it was a touchdown by Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love at 1st and goal at the Penn State 2-yard line with 14 minutes, 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And that was huge for Notre Dame to take the lead for the first time. But Penn State 17 unanswered points for Notre Dame. But Penn State responded back with a 7-play, 75-yard drive that lasted 3 minutes, 47 seconds. and it was a Nicholas Singleton run for a touchdown from the for 7 yards for a touchdown, and the point after was good. So 17 all. Well, first play of the drive for Notre Dame, they threw a pick by Riley Leonard, his second one of the game, to say the least. And whenever you go an opponent plus territory, they're more likely than not to score. And that's what Penn State did. On 5 plays, 39 yards, 2 minutes, 20 seconds ran off the clock. A Nicholas Singleton 7-yard touchdown. And I know that was, and like this one and this drive and the one earlier had like a questionable, like either holding or pass interference. But at the end of the day, you got to make plays to win. That's all I got to say. So Penn State now responded with 14 unanswered points after being down for the first time. And this was a huge drive coming up for Notre Dame. They have to score a touchdown to tie the game or be down 4. And Notre Dame went on a 7-play, 81-yard drive that lasted 3 minutes, 17 seconds. And it was a touchdown pass to Jaden Greathouse. And when you see the highlight for that play, the defender slipped, like in coverage, and then the guy that was trying to take him down went down, and he just ran all the way. And the point after was good, so that was 24 all at that point. And it was 4 minutes 38 seconds, and now Penn State, they had to try to score if they can just to get the momentum back. But they punted the ball away on 3 plays, 7 yards in total. On a drive that lasted 2 minutes 4 seconds, and Notre Dame punted the ball right back after 6 plays, 28 yards. And that lasted 1 minute 47 seconds left in terms of game clock, and it was like 47 seconds left when Penn State had the ball. So at that drive right there for Notre Dame, they could, if they kept the drive going, they probably would have gone for the win. Well, 2-play drive coming up for Penn State. They threw a pick by Drew Allard, a costly one. It was at the Penn State 42-yard line. So, and as we all know, Notre Dame went on a 7-play, 19-yard drive that lasted 26 seconds. And obviously, Penn State had to try to conserve time as much as possible, so they called 2 timeouts during this drive, including like the fourth, right after the third down play. They called timeout with 12 seconds left. And Mitch Jeter made a 41-yard field goal with 7 seconds left. So, of course, there was a little bit of time for Penn State, but it had to take some miracle to go 75 yards in that little time. Obviously, it was a touchback, for Notre Dame's kickoff team, and which was huge not to allow a big return or any return period. And Drew Allard threw an incomplete pass the first play. Second play, he threw it to Tyler Warren for 3 yards, and then he did it like a lateral to Harrison Wallace III for a loss of 3 yards, of course, to the Penn State 21-yard line. And he tried to throw the ball back to Drew Allard for Drew Allard, but the ball went out of bounds, and it was recovered by Penn State. But the thing about it is that there was no time left of the game though. Now I'm going to say Penn State did have 10 points off of 2 turnovers by Notre Dame. Notre Dame only had 3 points off that 1 turnover. I really do think if Penn State would have scored a touchdown on that first interception, then Notre Dame would have to score a touchdown to at least take the lead again. Instead of it's a tie ball game. They could just Run out the clock as much as possible and just go for the win, essentially. Now, I'm going to go with the stats for the game here. In terms of first downs, Notre Dame had 23, Penn State 20. Third down conversion, 11 for 17 for Notre Dame. That was critical. And Penn State was 3 for 11, but they were 2 for 2 on fourth down, though. I mean, Notre Dame did not do any attempts. In terms of total amount of yards, 383 for Notre Dame, 339 for Penn State. Passing yards, Notre Dame proved that they could throw the ball. I mean, 267 yards, and I know they had a backup quarterback, did a little bit, but come on. 267 yards on 21 completions out of 31 attempts. While Penn State had 135 yards passing on 12 completions out of 23 attempts. Rushing yards, Notre Dame couldn't run the ball as efficiently in this game. 116 yards rushing on 42 attempts, which is 2.8 yards per rush. While Penn State had 204 rushing yards on 42 attempts, and they averaged 4.9 yards per rush. Of course, Notre Dame had 4 penalties for 30 yards, and Penn State had 5 penalties for 44 yards. I already went over the turnovers. 2 turnovers by Notre Dame, 1 turnover by Penn State. But at the end of the day, Notre Dame defense did enough to keep them in it, despite being down 10-0, and then they went on a 17-0 run in this game. So we're going to have to wait and see who Notre Dame plays next. And man, that was a brutal loss for Penn State. And they're 13-3 on the year. At least you got to college football playoff semifinal, but I know they want more than that. They want to go to the national title game. I mean, seriously. And this proves once again, James Franklin cannot beat teams at or above his level. I mean, in terms of like when he's been a head coach at Penn State. And his record against top 5 opponents is not that good. And same thing goes for top 10 as well. So, yeah. And this was a game that I was going to be not surprised either way who won. I would have been stunned if it was a blowout. And I thought both these teams were not going to hit the 30s. And I did pick Notre Dame to win, but it was tough. It was a game that I really debated on. So, we all know Notre Dame is going to either take on the 5 seed Texas or the 8 seed Ohio State on January 20th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. And the game will be played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens between Ohio State and Texas. But I just wanted to touch on this football game statistically and drive by drive. And the thing about it is, Penn State, you didn't do a good enough job on pass defense in this game. You just didn't. I mean, just telling the truth. And you allowed a big play to happen. And I know the defender slipped, but you don't need to allow the yards out to catch. And that's what exactly happened for Notre Dame to tie this thing up. Well, I will say, Notre Dame, next game, you cannot turn the ball over twice. I'm just saying that right now. And expect to win. Especially if it's against Ohio State. I'm just telling you right now. And I will preview on whoever is in the national title game sometime next week. And I already got the Notre Dame stats pulled up from the website. And including, like, I had to calculate how many points per game offensively and defensively. Because it doesn't show on the website. So Notre Dame is now 14-1 on the year. And they're seeking the first national title in a long time. To say the least. I mean, under claimed 1988. Under that. But if you want to go unclaimed, it would have been like 1993. So, we're going to have to wait and see what happens But that was a heck of a game. And it was a shame that one of these two would lose. Because Penn State hadn't been in the national title game for a little bit of time. I mean, not just for Notre Dame. Obviously, Notre Dame was in the national title game back in 2012, and they lost to Alabama easily. While Penn State hadn't won an acclaimed national championship since 1986. If you want to go under unclaimed, 1994, but you get the picture. That's just tough. I mean, so anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 7 subscribers. Course ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some more money out this course. Like a video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithms. More people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe buttons for the notification bell as well. And I will do the same thing for like the 8 seed Ohio State versus the 5 seed Texas football game that will be played tonight. Tomorrow, like recap it tomorrow. So, and I will go preview the national title game sometime next week. So let's see who it is gonna face Notre Dame.